Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, all of that juicy goodness. We are here for a May reading. I'm going to do a read for the whole month to see what the energy is. I've been watching a ton of videos on what other spiritual teachers are saying. So I'm kind of curious what my cards will say and if it will match theirs. So what they are saying, I'll say it out loud. So maybe you'll be able to connect it when we get the cards. You'll be like, oh my gosh, you said that at the beginning of the reading. So let's see if the universe is spot on or not. But what they're saying is that we are being called to step out of our victimhood. So if you find yourself saying like, why isn't this happening for me? Or why is this person behaving this way? Or why? Instead of, oh, okay, this is my reality. Maybe I should shift something about me. Maybe I should start self-reflecting and see where I can be better in my life. So instead of looking outside of yourself and analyzing and judging and placing blame and being the victim, saying, why is this happening to me? Why am I at a job I don't love? Why is my boss acting a certain way? Well, you might be attracting that boss to you. Here's an example. I also just got a quick thought that we're going to pull a page from Journey to the Heart. So we're going to do that next after I open Sacred Space, but I feel called to share this with you. I had a friend once who she kept attracting bosses and coworkers who were it was almost like she always felt like she was going to get in trouble. And even like her neighbors were treating her this way too. It's like they were always threatening to do something to get her in trouble. So she had this pattern deep down inside of her fear of authority, her fear of doing something wrong and getting in trouble. And that was innately in her from childhood. So somebody in her life, did something to her when she supposedly did something wrong. So now as an adult, because it's an unhealed trauma and she hasn't faced it yet, she keeps attracting situations where she could possibly get in trouble. And sometimes she's sabotaging it, and she is doing things to get herself into trouble. So, and I'm observing it all, and I'm not able to help her because she's not able to see it. And it's really, really hard to watch people I love continue to do behaviors and patterns that are pretty obvious on a spiritual path to see, wow, like once you understand that we attract everything, any situation, if you guys are watching this, this. With manifesting, we're manifesting every single minute of every single day. So if you have a boss that is pissing you off and telling you what to do and just being kind of like a narcissist, you have to ask yourself, where else in my life are there narcissists? Is it my spouse? Is it my parents? Is it a sibling? Why am I always having to surrender to a narcissist? Well, the universe keeps bringing you these people because it wants you to show you that you're settling and you're not standing in your truth and you're not standing in your power, saying, I deserve better. I know that this is not how a human being should be treated. And I'm living in it. And I just keep attracting more and more because I'm not getting out of it. So if you choose to stay in those situations and at those jobs, like my friend did, she kept staying in situations where she would get in trouble and she wasn't seeing that she was the root of the issue. How to resolve that is you choose better for yourself. You either speak your truth to the person, you either leave the situation in a very grounded and calm way because you don't want to leave that situation and then go attract the same thing elsewhere. You book a session, you do some healing work, you talk it through, you try to figure out, okay, what am I doing in the moment that is causing me to make these decisions to sabotage myself? And then when you do that, you're unlearning the pattern and you're like, yes, finally, I don't have to worry about going anywhere and about getting in trouble or somebody always telling me what to do or threatening me. If people are threatening you, you're attracting that you're sending out the vibration to that person that they can. So let that sink in. That is victimhood. You are playing the victim saying, this person does this to me and this person does that to me. Well, you're not doing anything to get out of it. So this is your motivation to start seeing the pattern, see what your patterns are, whether it's what my friend was doing, how she was just repeatedly getting these bosses over and over again that were narcissists. And it was like, she just had to become aware of it. And it's easy to break through it once you're aware of it. And if you're feeling like nervous and you're not really sure how to do that, book a session with me, and I'll be able to get more specifics on your situation and get the guidance from your guides, from your angels, from the universe on how to help you move through that situation. Okay. Awesome opening message. But that was the May energy for all the other spiritual teachers. They were talking about how people are seeing their victimhood. They're seeing how they're playing the victim in their lives and kind of blaming other people in other situations when they're the common denominator. They're the ones attracting that to them. And then they just have to get the courage to say, okay, I choose differently. I choose better for myself. Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, please open sacred space. Please allow the messages to come through that my viewers need to hear today. Oh, Palo Santo. Oh, how I love you. So delicious. This smells so good, you guys. Ah, freaking love it. All right, so I'm gonna go put this on my incense holder. And here we go. We're gonna start with the book. All right. Get my glasses. Let's see what page we get today. This book got me through some hard times in my life, so I highly recommend go on Amazon and purchase it. It's a daily meditation, meaning like it's all dated, and each day you can open up and see what the message is, and if it matches that day, that's great. I like to do random page pulls, as you guys know. So I close my eyes and I just ask the universe to bring us what we need to hear today. All right, May 18th, love all of yourself. Do more than just accept yourself. Tolerate yourself, put up with yourself, endure who you are, love yourself. There came a time in my life when I simply could no longer put up with myself. I had talked about self-love. I had said out loud that I love myself. The words were good, but they didn't ring true. I had to actually begin experiencing and practicing love for myself. It became the next step on my path. To live in a magical way, one in which you connect with the universe. Loving yourself isn't optional. It comes first. To hear the quiet voice of your heart so you know when you're being led. To hear your thoughts so you can see what you really believe. To trust and open your heart, you must first experience love for yourself. Have you abandoned yourself? Let yourself see if that's true, feel if that's true. Then learn to experience love for yourself. Learn to love the way you handle things. Love your unique way of learning, growing, and seeing things. Love where you've been. Love what you've done. Love where you are, what you're doing now. Love how you look, smell, and feel. Love the color of your eyes, the color of your hair, the radiance in your heart. Love how you laugh. Love how you cry. Love your mistakes and love all the good you've done. Love it all. Love all of you. And the quote says, step into love for yourself and the universe will reflect that love back to you. And this is so unique. I just did a reading last night with a wonderful man out in Arkansas. High five if you're watching. He was such a beautiful soul. He was willing to do the work. He was willing to look at his life and all of the stuff that he's been through and the loss and the pain. And he just wants better for himself. He's wanting his manifestations to arrive. He's wanting a different life. And one of the messages that he got, he lost both of his parents within like a month of each other passing. And the message that came through for him were that his parents wanted him to love himself. And they wanted him to see all that he's been through and to celebrate it and to say, listen, like, you know, you're a Marine, you were in the Army, you're in the Air Force. Like he did all of these amazing things, just always trying to be his best. And a lot of times when we step into those where that masculine energy, we're trying to be something, when in reality, we just need to just be. And we just need to see our light and to see how amazing we are. But it's not easy. Even just reading that passage, I just was thinking about my journey and how long it took me to finally love my laugh, to finally love how I look, and to love how I respond to people. And I truly feel like we are all really capable of getting there. And it just is a daily practice of the awareness of your thoughts. As you're doing something, or maybe here's a good example. Thank you. If somebody comes up to you and they're not a nice person, or maybe they're complaining about something, kind of like the victimhood, right? Instead of saying, why are these people doing this? You sit back and you say, wow, I am so grateful. I am who I am. I am so grateful that I'm not them, and no harm to them, but wow, I've come so far that I don't behave that way. I'm going to send love to my boss or send love to that person that's triggering me, because they're still in this loop. They're still living from this program of repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And that's what my friend had to deal with, where these people that were coming at her and treating her poorly, they were on a program. They were not on a self-growth journey. They were just repeating the same thing over and over again, waking up doing, it's like Groundhog Day in their lives, where we are, if you're watching these readings, you're on a growth journey. You are wanting to be better. And sometimes people watch these videos and they absorb all the information, but they never apply it to their lives. And then that's why the victimhood comes into play, because then they sit in these situations and they think they're learning all of this, but they're not integrating it into their body, and they're not taking action to actually do it. And for me, that is a huge, I cannot tolerate it. I can't be around it. I will send them love from afar, but I cannot work with people who don't want to grow and are not willing to look at their shadow and do the work, because it's just it's a pattern. It's a broken record. Your words will fall on deaf ears. So I had to be, and I'm saying this for you all, to be specific about who your audience is, who you are hanging out with, who you're surrounding yourself with, because you can't keep trying to find joy and happiness with somebody that's a record playing and they're just repeating the same pattern. It's insanity. You're never going to get a different result. You're never going to get what you want from that person. And that's where you have to decide, do I want to stay in this situation, at this job, with this person, and whatever it is, or do I slowly pull away because I am tired and I want better for myself, and I don't want to numb myself for the rest of my life. I don't want to be miserable at this job. I want to manifest a better life for myself. And that starts with that awareness of choosing you and saying, thank God I'm not that person. I am different from them. We are no longer, throat chakra. I almost just choked. We are no longer a match. And at one point you might have been a match, but now you're awake and aware that you're not a broken record. You're not repeating the same patterns. You have grown, you have changed. You don't think the same way. You don't do the things that you used to do. You've evolved. And other people around you, and especially in jobs and careers, those types of people might never evolve. And that's where you need to love yourself enough to say, I choose better for myself. I'm going to find peace in this moment, in this situation. I'm going to thank God for showing me it. I'm going to thank God for making me who I am, for allowing me to be somebody that evolves. And I'm going to ask to be moved. Universe, please move me out of this job. I see it now. Thank you so much. I see my worth. I see how awesome I am. I'm no longer going to be the victim. I'm just going to observe it and say, wow, that person's really angry. Wow, that person's really high strung. I'm so grateful that I'm not that way. Instead of saying, why is my boss such a jerk? Why are they so annoying? Why are they always complaining? See that energy difference? So be strong, be loving to yourself, observe your surroundings and see it as mirrors. See what's not a match and what is a match, and know your worth. Okay, let's pull some cards. All right, May energy. What is the energy for May? First one, sharing of yourself. I am an incredibly generous being. And I just heard, again, be discerning about who you're sharing yourself with. Is somebody valuing you? Is somebody not honoring you? Is somebody just tossing you aside? So the zebra represents, like, show off those stripes, be you, don't don't let anybody dim your light. And if you start to show up in your career a different way, if you start to put yourself out there more, don't fear the judgment. Your tribe will find you. The people that need you will find you. So maybe May is an energy of you stepping out and sharing yourself more in some way. Maybe it's sharing your feelings, maybe expressing yourself more, maybe showing up on social media more. My chest is heavy. Okay, simplifying your life. This is all about cleansing and purging the old. So spring cleaning, yay, spring is here. That's perfect energy for May. And I just heard next Sunday is Mother's Day. So make sure you're honoring all the women in your life who are mothers, grandmothers, daughters, all women. All right. Accept what is. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. So self-love seems to be the theme. Fully accepting yourself. And I love that it's a rose. I always think of the ever unfolding rose. You just keep peeling back all these layers. I made a post on one of my shorts about how we might be feeling a little depressed right now. We might be feeling like we can't find joy or we can't find happiness somewhere in our lives. And that's okay. Usually that's a sign your body is going through some sort of healing. And you're not meant to be positive right now. You're meant to be in your sadness. So once we allow it and don't overthink the thoughts, just be sad, let yourself cry on the couch, do whatever you need to do to release it. And then it's just accepting what is. You're just accepting where you are and not resisting it, because what you resist persists. Thank you so much for those messages. All right, let's do some animals. And my nose is running, which spirit always makes me feel a certain way. So I don't know what that means right now, but my nose keeps running. I gotta go catch it. Again with my chest. Take a big, deep breath. Anybody out there, if your chest is feeling heavy. I just heard that somebody feels so relieved when I was talking about the depressing part where you might be feeling depressed, and I'm here to tell you that you're not, and it's just a passing energy and you just let it be. Somebody just got relief hearing that. They were like, oh, okay, good. I'm allowed to feel this way. This is normal. Yes, it is. It's called ascension. We're going through ascension symptoms and we just have to allow them to pass through us. If you don't know what ascension symptoms are, Google it. I first went through my ascension symptoms back in 2018 when I was awakening. Well, hello. And it was a grueling process. It made me feel like I was anxiety ridden and depressed, but I really wasn't. I was just ascending. You are never alone. You got the otter card. 42. 42 was my basketball number in high school. I used to be a really good three-point shooter. Super fun, the good old days. That, and I was really good at assisting. So if anyone plays basketball out there, high five. It's actually one of my favorite sports to watch. I love to go to basketball games. But there was nothing like coming home after a game knowing that I had like 10 assists or something. Assisting was my favorite. I loved being a giver. Okay, so this is so cute too, because if you can see the heart, the two otters are snuggling in the heart shape. They're like the perfect match for each other. And they're saying, you're not alone. I got you. I'm going to snuggle you for the rest of my life. So maybe this is saying in May, you might be connecting with a soulmate or a twin flame energy. And I know that I'm calling in somebody new into my life. So I have my list all prepared and I'm ready for a higher love. And these otters are a little sign for me. The otters also represent joy. So I know that I'm calling in more happiness in my life. No more trying to figure things out. I only want it to be easy and effortless and happy. So that was a perfect sign for me. And the fact that it had my basketball number was so meant to be. Okay, let's get another card. And it did say you are never alone. So be on the lookout this month for new people coming into your life. Don't settle for anything less than what you are, which is magnificent. We have the turtle. What is under your shell? What experiences have you had that can help others who might be suffering? It's time to share your wisdom. So all of the information that you hold inside your mind and inside your heart, you are somehow being called and being poked at to share it with the world. And I think this has a lot to do with sharing of yourself. There's something inside of you, your special gifts, and you're being called to be brave, show off those stripes, and get out there and be who you came here to be. No more hiding. You are not meant to be hidden. And I have found that a lot of my clients, oh my gosh, I did the best reading. I think it was yesterday morning. Yeah. Yesterday morning with a woman from Virginia. High five, girl, if you're watching. She was such a bright light. As soon as she came on the Zoom, she was in her car and her smile was just huge. And she had just left an 11-year relationship and she had an 11-year-old daughter. And she just was like, oh my gosh, Michelle, she goes, I had no idea how clouded. She's like, I was drinking caffeine like multiple times a day. I just was floating through life thinking I was fine. And she's like, I literally got so many signs and synchronicities after she had the conversation to end it with her partner, and they weren't married. And that was one of the things that kind of like, she's like, why am I staying in something? Why do I feel this pull to stay? Like, what was her fear of leaving? And she just prayed and she said, universe, if I'm not supposed to be in this partnership, make it very clear. And one day she had a conversation with her partner and it just, something jumped in her body and made her have the conversation where she was just like, do you want this or don't you want this? What are we doing here? And he was just like, well, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. And she was like, that's my answer. If you're not going to choose me, and for other people that I've counseled too, it's people saying like, if you're not going to grow and you're not going to change, and if you're not going to lay off of me, I have some women that are in partnerships where the husband is like super controlling and always watching what they're doing. And they're having the conversation with them saying like, listen, like, I am not happy. I don't want to feel like I'm in a cage. I need to have my freedom. And they're saying that, well, they're saying that they're going to change, but then they never take action. And that's that's clarity from the universe saying, okay, you asked for clarity. This is your clarity. They're not going to change. Then that's your time to step out. And my client, she got her answer when he said he was not ready for the next step. And she's like, all right, well then I'm out. And she's even said like, she had no idea that she was suffering. So once she was out of it, she could see it more clearly. But when she was in it, she was like, okay, this is life, whatever. But she is a beautiful energy now. And I didn't know her before that, but like, you could just tell she was beaming and she's excited about life again. And she didn't realize how clouded her life was. So when I get this, the sharing of yourself and just not being afraid to be yourself, that sometimes is speaking your truth too. And like sharing your thoughts and your kind of like your desires. All right, I'm being guided to use a universe card or to get a universe card. Let's see what comes through. Thank you. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. How perfect. And we're also going to use the bottom. I just saw that. Hope is the conduit for miracles. So when you finally feel your feelings and you sit with it, that's where the hope and the miracles come into play. I also heard from that woman yesterday on our reading that she was finally able to start healing from all of just anything that was kind of bogging her down. She just felt like she was more free. And it was just a different kind of energy that she had never felt. And her perspective on life is so different. And now she sees numbers and signs and she's so positive about it. When before, when she was in that partnership, she saw the signs and she felt scared. She thought they were a warning. And me hearing that, I'm like, well, yeah, because it's like her soul knew that she was in that partnership and she wasn't really meant to stay there long term. And she had that fear because her ego was seeing the darkness and seeing the cloudedness, and it wasn't able to see love because she was living in fear. So when she finally got pulled out of that relationship, now she's seeing signs and she's lit up and she's excited about life. but she wasn't excited about life and she was being scared of everything because she was underneath somebody else's energy. That man clouded her energy. It's like you're in a living room and there's a huge tree in your living room. She could not get around the tree. It was hovering over her. So she couldn't find joy in her life and she was suffering, but she didn't know it until she pulled out of it. So this is saying the true healing occurs when you finally leave those situations. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. And other people can hinder your healing, 100%. Environments can hinder your healing, people, situations, and that's why you have to be brave and step away for a bit. All right, so May is looking pretty interesting. Let's get an angel card to end this. So remember, there's hope. Hope is the conduit for miracles. Once you start doing your healing, that's when you can start expecting your manifestations to pour in. Love yourself, dive into your healing, allow the so-called depression to be there and let it pass through you. And you can see your life more clearly and unlearn the patterns, right? You're no longer going to be the victim. Just recapping this reading for you. You're going to do some spring cleaning in your life and you're going to get rid of anything that's no longer serving you. You're going to look at your bosses and coworkers and friends and family and be like, wow, thank you for showing me my growth and how awesome I am and that I'm not you. It doesn't mean you run away from those situations. You just use it as an awareness. All right, last one, patience. Don't we all need patience on the spiritual path? So through the healing, we have to have patience. You have to allow those feelings to pass through you. And I'm hearing patience for your miracles. So these two are going together. Have patience while your miracles are manifesting. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed this May reading. I will see you probably later this week. I'm probably going to do another maybe morning message or an energy reading. So I hope you have a wonderful first day of May. Yay. Hopefully it's warm where you are. It's starting to get a little bit warmer where I am. All right. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.